Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Abrazo Football Podcast. And I keep messing this up. I'm always exhausted from all these World Cup games. Anyway, we got Brooks in the building, me, myself, and I, Blaine Gunn. And today we're gonna do a little bit of a recap, and discuss some of the stuff that has been happening over in Qatar. And I personally, honestly, just want to start with some of the upsets and get your reaction, Brooks. There is this World Cup. Some people say this is one of the greatest World Cups of all time, not from, a human resource standpoint,
Right.
but from a purely footballing perspective. Upsets, standout performances, feel good stories, so on and so forth. But I want to start with the upsets because I'm evil and I'm petty and I love to see people suffer. So let's start in Group H, okay? Game three, right? Portugal, South Korea. People think it's a foregone conclusion. People didn't realize how strong Korea was. They thought Portugal was just gonna, push them to the side, score a few goals, and move on. But that was not the case. Korea wins, which puts Ghana and Uruguay in a curious situation, right? Very, very curious situation. Well, actually, it puts them in a situation where they're both just flat out of the game. South Korea was like, we're going through. But that being said, a lot of people have gone out of this World Cup, but I'm petty. I want to talk about Luis Suarez and his reaction. So first, actually, let's talk about his interview first before the game. So what is it? World Cup 2010,
Yeah.
Ghana match, bullet going into the back of the net. Suarez just hooks it out the net. Penalties missed. Game goes to PKs. Uruguay advances. Ghana is eliminated. Interview with Luis Suarez, the Ghana press, they're upset. They're trying to blame Luis Suarez for that. Luis Suarez basically says, don't blame me. I didn't miss the penalty. People were mad. I'll just go ahead and say it. I don't like Luis Suarez. Obviously, it's clear I don't like him, but he's absolutely right in that situation. In my opinion, hey, it was a technical foul or a tactical foul. He did what he needed to do to get his team across the line. I respect that. You didn't convert the pin. You still can't score a penalty
Yeah, that
against
was
Uruguay.
sad.
To this day. Yeah, oh, that hurt. But to this day. So as far as I'm concerned, he did something that's lasting through generations. It's going on 22 years now. People still afraid to scrape penalties against Uruguay. So I mean, so first, what's your take on that? What should he be blamed for that, or was it a problem? Do you see an issue with that?
So obviously he's done worse things in
Exactly.
biting multiple people. This one was pretty. The thing with this is like, I had a friend who DM'd me and was like, "But he cheated." I'm like, "Yes, he cheated, but like, that's what is cheating? Like, is
I
faking a
have a
foul
problem with that.
cheating?"
I don't think he cheated. I
Yeah,
don't think he cheated. He broke a rule and he paid
he
the
paid the
consequence. He didn't cheat. A cheat. I mean, a cheat would be
biting.
if it went unnoticed. Okay, yeah, biting. Yeah, that biting's cheating,
Yeah.
and not getting untying somebody's shoes so they trip. That's cheating. A blatant handball. I mean, no, that's a part of the game. Like
Yeah.
there's provisions in the game that allow for that, and
Yes.
there's a reward, and the other team is rewarded for that. They're down a player and they get a penalty kick.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
He
Yeah.
did you a favor. He really did you a favor. You just couldn't capitalize. It's
Yeah.
not a cheat, in my opinion.
Yeah. No, I mean, so I'm with you. It's just like, I was just like, sure, like, let's not get into it because, you know, this is not related, but, every World Cup, soccer fans come out every 4 years. So I was like, let's just move on past, that conversation. But yeah,
Yeah.
I agree. Like, he was punished. The repercussion was he leaves the game and they get a penalty kick. It's as hardcore as this is. He's like, yeah, I did this, but they missed the shot. I'm not the one that missed the penalty. They missed the penalty, and he's so right. It's so annoying to hear it, but he's 100% right. He's so
Yes.
right about that. And then the worst part about that is he's so in their heads that they then miss the penalty again. So
He messed him up.
he messed
Yo,
them
he
up.
messed
He
him up.
messed them up. Yeah, yeah. So I don't think it.
Generations of
I mean,
Ghana people.
yes, that's what he did. Like, many people don't like him. you got to feel for, obviously Ghana having to go through that, but like they missed the penalty. They missed the penalty. I mean, no one's
Yeah.
mad about England and England, this is England misses penalties all the time. So
Don't. Why you? What they got to do with this? They don't have anything to do with this. We're
it's just
talking
part of
about
the game.
Africa,
Like you
South
can't be mad at
America.
Suarez
Yeah.
for you missing a penalty. Like you said, he gave you
Yeah.
this opportunity. It was served up on a platter. It was ready for y'all to go through to beat Uruguay 12 years ago. You didn't do it. You couldn't convert. That sucks. You're now mad that he handled the handball in hindsight. Had you
If you,
scored and won, you wouldn't be mad about this at all. This wouldn't be a revenge game. It would be like, thanks, Suarez. Like, let's see what you're going to do for us this year.
yeah, and then just to piggyback off that, Suarez has done several things in his career to be hated
Yeah.
for. Helping his team advance in a World Cup in South Africa by a blatant handball is not one of them. That is something that should be celebrated, in my opinion. If I was a fan of the Uruguayan national team, I would have celebrated that like a goal.
Absolutely.
Which which it should. It is what it is.
Yeah, if
But
Martinez does that against Netherlands and then Memphis Depay goes up to shoot and misses, man, I'm the happiest person in the world. I'm painting my hand blue or whatever. I'm like, this is going to be the greatest thing. If I don't know, yeah, it sucks. It sucks on the opposition or whatever. But listen, you got to score penalties. We all know that.
but back to my original question: why was he? I mean, I get it; it's his last World Cup.
Yeah.
Why was he crying so hard? Like, why was he? I just don't understand. Like, I felt like Robert Lewandowski played his last World Cup match today. A lot of other players that I probably can't think of right now, and like Thomas Mueller probably played his
Yeah.
last World Cup. The golden generation of Belgium all played their
Yeah.
final World Cup. I didn't see anybody. I mean, maybe I'm being bully. I just didn't see. I felt like he was like sobbing.
That was a bit overboard. That was
Like
a
he
bit
was
overboard.
unconsolable.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it was just. I was like, bro, like, or just go away. Like I felt like you were. It was a little bit embarrassing.
So
How did?
yes,
If you made it to the final and lost, sure.
Yeah,
But dude,
totally.
you didn't. Like this is a group
you didn't
stage
even get in the knockout
Like,
round. Yeah.
yeah. Like it's not. It wasn't even do or die. Like you had 3 opportunities. Like I'm sorry. I don't know. It made me feel weird, and I didn't like it.
Well,
And I've been telling everybody that I've talked to I didn't like it, and I don't. And I wish I didn't have to see it.
So one
I
thing
didn't
about the
want to
South
see that.
Americans, as you probably know, is they're going to be emotional. They're always going to be emotional. And so, you see Richarlison scoring his first goal in a Champions League, this dude sobbing on his knees. And that made me, I'm like, yo, get up. Like, come on, you're losing the game. You play for the Spurs. Get up. Like, don't cry. This is
Yeah.
you should be doing this. This is what they bought you for. It's the one goal you've scored for Tottenham in 15 games. So don't cry. But yeah, I agree. Like that was not something. Yeah, you can be upset. You can lay on the floor. You can have a tear or something. But this dude was like,
You could have a tear,
Yeah.
but he was sobbing.
yeah,
He was sobbing like he just lost his wife
yeah, it looked bad.
or something. I don't know. Anyway. All right. I won't pile on anymore. Shout out to the Uruguayan.
Wait,
friends. Shout out
real
to
quick,
Fede
real
Valverde.
quick. To add to that, the worst player dressed in blue has to be Darwin Nunez. This dude was Liverpool bought him for 100 million, and he missed every single chance he got. I don't even think Uruguay kept playing him toward the last. Like, didn't he even start the last game? They're like,
Bruh.
no, we're good.
Darwin Nunez's biggest contribution was scuffing up the penalty spot. That was his biggest contribution in the knockouts, or in the entire World Cup.
Yeah, he had the most wide open couple chances that he was missing, and I was just like, man, this guy,
Yeah.
it's in his head too. Anyway, we can move on.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So I mean, I guess we kind of briefly spoke on some of the other upsets or disappointments. Belgium, my man, I got to say it. My man Lukaku came in and missed some sitters. He
Yeah.
has some Timberland touches, bad first touches. They were mad at Kevin De Bruyne
For what though?
for saying, well,
Because they're too old for that comment.
I think he said we must not be scoring goals on him because we're too old, but I think it was perceived as him taking a shot at the defense because he was saying they're too old, I think is how I got it. And then I think Thibaut Courtois took exception to that because they have their history.
Because he took it, KDB's old girl. Well, stole it
He
when he was
smashed his old
yeah,
babe.
yeah.
Smashed. He smashed on her. So at least that's what I had read or heard. But I mean, so there was tension, but
People were mad at
ultimately,
KDB after the game. They're like, "Where was?" So I was reading like some comments on Instagram, and they were like, "Well, where's KDB?" I'm like, "Dude, where was KDB? KDB would have had like 6 assists had it not been for De Bruyne. I mean, for Lukaku,
Lukaku,
for Dries Mertens,
yeah,
for like that whole squad. So don't say where was
Yannick
K. Yeah,
Carrasco,
yeah, come on,
Aiden
this dude.
Hazard, was he dropped by the end of the round? Yeah,
Yeah, so De Bruyne was
I
there. De
mean
Bruyne showed up. Do you want him to score the goals too? Like he definitely set everyone up in that last game, but. As much as I
and
hate
I
to
mean,
say it, what do you say? What do you say?
well, I was just saying, it's just, I mean, that's just the reality of the situation. The entire Belgium squad, I mean, coach resigned right after the game. The whole
Yeah,
squad, they had aged. They didn't evolve. Some of the guys shouldn't have been playing. Some of the guys probably should have been playing.
yeah.
Like it's just bad when your best option for left winger is a guy that can't get a game at Real Madrid. When your best option, and realistically your only option, Mishi got a goal, so shout out to Mishi
Yeah.
Batshuayi, but your only real option for a goal scorer is a guy whose confidence is in the dirt and who hasn't played for the last 6 months.
Yeah,
And Romelu
had he
Lukaku.
had some match fitness, had he like not been injured the last few months leading up to the World Cup, that would have been a different story. They'd be through the knockout stages. He's not missing
Yeah, so
those
it's
when
just
he's
like,
like regular Lukaku.
yeah, like he's coming in for the last 30 minutes of the game because that's legitimately all
Yeah.
he can. That's all he can play. And I'm not making excuses. Well, I am making excuses. Belgium, I mean, if they would have went through, I mean, it's an upset. It would have been an upset if it was the right Belgium, like a fit Belgium. Like a lot of teams at this World Cup aren't fit,
Right.
but I mean, you didn't, it just is what it is. Like the timing didn't work out, and they ultimately paid the price. And in my opinion, KDB told the truth. I mean, almost kind of like in a veiled way. Like maybe he wasn't sincere by suggesting that the offense was too old, but Dries Mertens is old. Yannick
But they
Carrasco's
are,
old.
yeah. Aiden Hazard is
Aiden
old.
Hazard is
Come
old.
on.
And him and Lukaku are also aging. Backline is old.
Yeah.
Midfield is a little bit younger.
And everyone
But,
knows they're
you
old
know,
because this is why they kept saying this is the last chance for the golden generation of Belgium to like
yeah.
everyone knows it. So don't hate on him for just speaking what you all right. It's not right. Also,
Yeah.
De Bruyne is gonna come out and tell you the truth all the time. He's not gonna sugarcoat anything. That's just
Yeah.
how he is. So I'm happy.
It's the truth.
Yeah, it's nothing wrong with that. Also, like, who cares? They didn't score a goal. He was right. They couldn't score a goal,
They
so
didn't.
he
Yeah.
was right.
He
Yeah.
was right.
So annoying.
The last major upset, in my opinion, and I'm sure there were others. Well, maybe everyone's upset that they didn't make it, but big upset was Germans. The Germans, they that's 2 World Cups straight. They haven't made it through the group. They have not made it through the group, which is unfortunate in my opinion. I mean, they won their last game, but it's just
Yeah.
like it's a case of a little too like same with Uruguay, just too little, too late. Like you finally figured it out, but this isn't a round robin. This is a one and done. No one has home field advantage. You play 3 matches, you got to get the points. You're looking for 9 to get through. You probably need 6 or 7.
Yeah.
You can't get through with 4 points. That's just not going to cut it in a World Cup
No, you
unless you're
can't, and
America.
you can't get through by losing to Japan. And like, no offense,
Yeah,
Japan
like
obviously are great. They beat them. They beat Spain. They won the group. But these are
yeah,
these are the countries. You're Germany. You have to beat these. You have to win these games. Like
yeah,
it should
yeah,
have been an easy Spain and Germany going through. I'm happy to see Japan go through. Their jerseys are fire. They're very humble.
yeah,
Their
yeah,
fans clean up the stadium after. But the best
yeah.
part of watching Germany was when they panned to some random dude holding like a 4 foot by 4 foot picture of Mesut Ozil, and he had his hand. He was covering his mouth like this. This dude is holding up a picture of Mesut Ozil, and he just had his mouth covered.
I missed that.
Ah, so-
I missed that. That's stupid though.
uh,
Okay.
but Germany just the last game they looked fine, but you think when you basically are playing the entire Bayern Munich squad, aside from the French boys that play for Bayern,
Yeah.
they would be unstoppable.
Hey, maybe it's the French. Maybe it's something in France that made the difference. My assessment is I feel like they did a lot of the right things. They like just in that first game against Japan, their goals just weren't going in. Like they were hitting crossbars, getting like my minor deflections. It was like if the game was played 2 hours earlier, 2 hours later, those goals all would have gone in. They would have won the game 6-0. But like it's just like I
But
don't
then
know
you
what
got
the
to
word.
win
It's
your
just
next
like
games because that's like an Argentina thing, right? They lost their very first game to Saudi Arabia of all people, and they, had it not been for VAR, they would have easily won that game, even with Saudi Arabia scoring all of those. But you have to be able to come back and be stronger than
but
the
then they
last game.
figured it out.
Yeah,
Yeah, but yeah, they ultimately figured it out. I mean, the difference is Messi. I mean, in that Mexico game, Messi and who was the other guy? I always forget his
Enzo.
name. Anyway, yeah, Enzo. They just had two world class
Yeah,
finishes
which you would
out of
think
nothing,
Germany could
really.
pull that off with a Leroy Sané with my boy
Serge,
Serge Gnabry, obviously
yeah,
Kai Havertz. Like
Musiala,
they have it. They have
Kai,
the
yeah,
talent.
yeah. They just and they had those opportunities and those shots that
Yeah,
Messi and Enzo made. Their ones hit the crossbar or
yeah.
hit the post and went out. But hey, it is what it is.
Yeah, you do
You know,
need luck. We know you
I
need
pray.
luck in this.
Yeah, I pray the coach doesn't get fired. I'd like to see this German group give it another run when they come to the States, you know. Don't go firing Hansi Flick or anything like that. I feel like they still
Yeah.
have a good team. They can build off this. Maybe it's time to get some of the older players out.
Yes.
Get the Thomas Mullers. Maybe
Yeah.
it's time to let Ter Stegen take over in the goal.
Absolutely.
You
Or
know,
it's just
you
not Manuel Neuer anymore. That's
or just not Manny. Yeah.
yeah.
He made some mistakes. I mean, you see it's working out for Spain, man. You
Yeah.
see Spain, they went a different direction and it's paying dividends, you know? Shout out to Spain. Okay. Um I think that's all I had for upsets, Brooks.
Yeah.
Now what else we got today?
I just want to like real quickly, hold on, let me just write this down real quick. I just want to real quickly shout out France because the last couple World Cup winners, like obviously 2014, Germany didn't even make it out of the group stage there either, right? In 2018. So they win in 2014. It's a catastrophe in 2018. Same thing with Spain. They win in 2010. It's a catastrophe in 2014. France is looking like they're about to win it again and then again in 4 years in the US. So they're looking amazing. Olivier Giroud has now passed, unfortunately, the king Thierry Henry for all-time goals scored for France. But then Mbappe scored two more tonight, which were this kid.
The kid is a demon. That kid is a demon.
I think I told
I
you I
don't
was
even
like,
know.
what?
No, go.
I was just like,
Go
this
on.
kid is gonna have. He's obviously gonna surpass on our Giroud for most French goals, but he's gonna at this rate he's gonna score more just World Cup goals than Giroud has French goals. This guy is on a mission. We talk about people who level up when they put on the national kit. This guy, because it's kind of like I see some people that really aren't performing that did perform in last World Cup, such as Griezmann. I'm not really sold on Griezmann right now. Whatever he's doing.
Bro, but he was working hard though. But he was working hard. He was back there playing D. He
He
was
was getting
clearing
back there.
balls.
But you want to talk about
He
someone working
was
hard too? Your boy Dembele. This guy is all over the place. He's putting in the crosses.
bro,
He's putting his whole body in there. He's getting hurt. He's coming up limping. This guy's
bro,
going
he's
in.
defending. Didier Deschamps gets in these players'
Yeah.
ears and he's like, "Listen, I don't care what's going on in Spain. You're home right now. You're playing for the country. I don't care if you have to die on that field." And they just salute him and they give it. I mean, Adrian Rabiot,
This guy is
Chouameni,
unbelievable. Coming in, he's taking the
Rafael
place
Varane.
for what?
Well, no, I was just gonna say. I was gonna bring up Varane, but
Oh,
you talk about the midfield. Talk about the midfield.
Rabiot is like I almost if Pogba and Conte were fit, I'd still be playing Rabiot right now because he's so good in that midfield, and he's just been like overlooked for a while too. I'm very happy to see him finally getting his chance to shine with the national team at a World Cup. But we've talked about this in the past,
Yeah.
but he's so silky. He's everywhere on the pitch. He covers so much stride with each stride. It's awesome.
Well, bro, he's like a combination of Conte
Yes.
and Pogba because he has the dog in him. Well, and he has dog. He has the dog in him. He has the engine, so he's running. He's everywhere. He's on the left. He's on the right. He's in the box. He's in both boxes, but he can also pass a ball. He
Yeah.
can dribble a ball. I don't know if he can shoot a ball like Pogba can shoot a ball, but guess what? Chouameni can. So
Yeah.
if that's your midfield, like it's like people like, oh yeah, they're done. They're
No way.
Pogba and Conte are out. He's like, relax, mom. Tell him. Tell
Yeah,
him who's
tell him
the
about your
best
boy.
French
Tell him about your
midfielder of all
son.
time. And yeah, man, I mean, obviously, like the team star studded, and I'm a fan of like all the
Everyone.
French players, if I'm
Yeah,
being honest.
everyone. Yeah.
But so far, he's been my favorite. Like, despite Kylian Mbappe like scoring goals with his head, thrusting them into their knuckleballs, set
Rockets.
pieces that
Yeah.
are from open play, intimidating defenders to where they don't even want to close them down.
They were just leaving him
Just
so much space.
they're like, bro, you go get him.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah. Well, his first goal was nuts, but his second goal, like, how do you even do that? Like, he hit it so hard, I thought he was gonna break. I thought he was gonna break. Was it Chesney break his hand off?
Yeah.
Like he's like, I got it, crack.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't have it.
That was a health
It's
hazard.
going in.
Yeah. No, that French team, you can't really right now. You can't go against them. You can't with like there's no way they're losing. I just don't see them losing. I was hoping tonight that, they started off really slow. It took them to like the 50th minute to really get going. And I was like, okay, like
Yeah,
maybe Poland can do this because I don't want Argentina coming up against France anytime soon. But no, they're too good.
yeah,
The only weak side, it, is their goalkeeper. And I'm like, yo, if Germany's got to
Hugo.
let go of like you said, Neuer, these guys got to let go of Lloris. They got so many options, though. We've
Yeah,
been talking about France and how deep they are and how young they are for years. They're going to keep being this young and this deep for years. It's just like lift this person out and put a younger version in, and they're easily interchangeable, and they're going to be good for a long time.
yeah, man. They got the code cracked.
They do.
They got the code cracked. I know we were gonna say this for the end, but we may as well just talk about it right now. So
So
we made some predictions earlier.
okay,
Now that we're out of the group stage and we're into the knockouts, some teams have shown what they're about, other teams have lost players. Who's going the distance? Who is going the distance? I think we're probably both on the same page, but I'm gonna let you go first because you might not be on the same page.
so I just really don't think that there's any stopping France right now. Um, I have to, just because of the blood in me and my genetic makeup and all of that. I gotta say
Yeah,
Argentina. They have to do it. Like when you watch Messi play, there's just not a person on there that looks like they want it more. Even on the France side, it's like they all play really well together. Argentina, Messi is just like, no, like I need to do this. Like we have to do this, and if you're not going to do it, and you're not going to do it, I'm going to do it. So just give me the ball and let's get this done. Just jump on my shoulders. So I want to say Argentina, but just because I'm realistic, France looks like there's no one beating them. Even Brazil, like I just don't rate Brazil when it comes to them playing France.
yeah.
What do you
I
think?
mean, yeah. So yeah, my initial pick was in this order was my pick. I had Brazil, Argentina, France,
Hmm.
England. Okay. After some observations, I mean Neymar got injured, right? They say he's coming back to play the South Koreans. We'll see what that looks like. I didn't, he was in training. I don't know if he looked sharp or if he's limping or if he's at half speed, but I'm not going to waste a lot of time. I'm just going to say it. France.
Yeah.
I got all my money on France. All my money on France, even though, like, I feel like other teams might want it more. They ain't got the depth. They don't got. They don't got the depth that France has.
So then,
Like France,
go ahead.
go,
No, no, no.
go on.
Oh,
I was saying they just don't have the depth. It's like
no,
France,
they don't.
like they could play the game. They could have Jules Koundé running the right hand side just all day, just
Gold
tracking
chain
back
and
on
all.
whoever's playing. Oh, I think he had two of them on. He tried to tuck them back in. I was like, we all saw that, but they could run him for 70 minutes, then pull Benjamin Pavard off the bench, and he's just gonna run you into the dirt for the last 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Pull Dembele off and put on Coman. You know,
Yeah.
you got midfield options. You got options all across, with the exception of maybe left back now because one of the Hernandez brothers tore ACL. But with that exception, they got like top tier talent to back up every position on the field. I mean, there's a drop off when Mbappe comes off, but it's like, I mean, at the end of the day, it's still, they got options. I feel like Brazil is the same
Yeah.
way, but not. Yeah, no, I'm not. Who am I kidding? Brazil's the same way.
Brazil's the
Brazil's the
same way,
same
but
way.
they're older. They've still got. I mean, they brought a Danny Alves and a Thiago. Those dudes are well into their 30s, like 37 and 39, right? So that would to
Yeah,
me be the only
yeah.
difference. You say, let's say, because I'm looking at the table right now, and technically, I mean, France and Brazil could play each other in the final. You would still give it to France if they played Brazil.
I just think so, man. I legitimately, like, if I'm putting money on it, just based off of what I've seen,
Yeah,
it looks like France is more capable
yeah,
than anybody else, and someone else is gonna have to prove it to me. So, like, if some another team's gonna have to show me that they want it more.
yeah,
Like, it's not equal. Like, for example, like, sure, U.S. lost 3-1 to the Dutch yesterday, but it didn't feel like, it felt like the Dutch winning 3-1 against the U.S. It felt like they should have won 8
yeah.
0.
They
You know what
shouldn't
I
have.
mean?
U.S. shouldn't have scored against the Dutch team, in my opinion.
Yeah, they didn't even know. They knew nothing about the goal. It was a complete mistake. It was embarrassing. It was embarrassing almost for the U.S. to score that goal. More embarrassing than it was for the Dutch to let them score it. Whereas you look at France here, and it's like, okay, like, they don't play. They essentially only decide that they're going to play in the second half,
Yeah,
and they give up a consolation handball in the 96th minute of stoppage time.
yeah,
It's just like the way they won was
yeah,
way more convincing. And also the level of competition. Like, I mean, to beat Poland versus beating the US, it's like, I mean,
yeah,
come on.
yeah.
You know what I
So I
mean?
guess that's
Like,
my next question. Do
Poland
you
scores
think
goals.
that Argentina is going to beat the Netherlands on Friday?
They don't play until Friday?
Yeah, it's like nearly a week off.
Yo. I mean, if I'm putting money on it, I mean, yo, I'm I want to say I'm putting money on Argentina. Like, I mean, pound for pound, I feel like they'll probably, I mean, I feel like Dutch looked good because they
Yeah,
played the US.
yeah,
It was the US. It was the US. Like, all their goals came from outside backs. I don't think that's going to happen in a game against Argentina. Like, Frankie De Jong's good.
yeah. Well, and he was the only
I
reason
like
that
Mem-
they won in that first game, where he literally put it on Cody Gakpo's head. He just had to like breathe in the right direction, and that goal
yeah.
was a beautiful pass. The thing is, like, the Netherlands is always going to be the Netherlands in my mind. It's still, to me, it's still 2010 the Dutch team with Van
Just
Persie.
not quite good enough.
Yeah, exactly. What
Just
gives
not quite good
Yeah.
enough.
But what gives me comfort is that Memphis Depay was leading the line. I'm like, okay, then I'm cool with that. And
Yeah.
Memphis is going to lead the line. That's rude, but I hope. I mean,
Yo,
Argentina should win.
I'm
They
gonna
match
clip
up
this and
better.
send it to you. If they lose, if Memphis scores a goal, I'll send this to you. If they
If
win.
Memphis scores a goal, he's going to be
But yeah,
tweeting me talking about all bark no bite like he did last night.
jeez. Yeah, but like, realistically, Argentina should be able to beat Memphis.
So then, how
Or
far do you
not
think
Memphis.
Argentina will go?
So if they beat, who's on that side of the bracket? So if they beat or if they beat the
Uh
Dutch,
huh.
who would they meet in the
So then on
corner?
the other, so then if they beat the Dutch, then they're going to wait to see who wins against either Japan, Croatia, who will then play either South Korea, Brazil. So let's say Brazil beat South Korea and Croatia beat Japan. Then whoever
Bro, I
wins
hate the
that.
World Cup. These people are evil. They're playing Brazil, and it's gonna be nasty.
Isn't it?
It's gonna be nasty. It's gonna be the Copa America 2021
For
and
the semifinal.
2022.
For the semi. That's not
Yeah,
even the
for the
final.
semi. Yeah, I said quarter semi. Yeah,
No,
for
sorry,
the
no. I was
semi.
just saying, like, not the, yeah,
That's a
this,
crime.
just like not the final. That's crazy that it's not a final when it's
It's
Brazil
a
and
crime.
Argentina.
Yeah, it's a crime. It's a crime, man. At least the bracket's even this year.
It's even. So then, because I
At
think that Portugal Switzerland's a very even one too. Who do you think is going to win that one?
Portugal better win, man.
Man, if they sit
Switzerland
Ronaldo and put in Leao, then they're gonna win. I don't know why they're playing games and keeps playing Ronaldo at 80 minutes of the
start.
game.
Yeah, start. Yeah, start Ralph. Start Rafael Leao. Bring Ronaldo in for, run it a tired Swiss defense. I
Yeah.
mean, does the coach have
No.
the strength to make the big call?
No.
Put in the young bull. He should. He should do it.
But real quick, so then Morocco, Spain. Obviously, you think Spain?
Yeah, I mean, if Morocco did it, I would respect
Hakim
Morocco a
and
lot if
Hakimi.
they
Oh, that
pulled
would
it
be
off.
amazing. They're looking really good. But yeah, I feel like it has to be
Yeah,
Spain.
it has to be Spain, but like in most of the games, like I like obviously like I have teams that I'm rooting for, but mostly when it gets to this point, I just want the best team to win. Like I don't like if Morocco could put together a convincing run and beat Spain and they look like they're the better team,
Then
I
cool.
want them to go
Yeah.
through because I want the best tournament. But my mind is telling me that the Spanish, unless Ferran Torres gets in his feelings and starts taking shots from all over the place and they're going east and west and none of them going north, Spain will probably most likely win like
Yeah.
2 or 3 goals to none. And that's just being honest. I mean, because like it's like there's like we always talk about, like there's the circumstance and the luck. And Morocco has had a lot of fortunate circumstances and a whole
Yeah.
lot
Some
of
luck.
luck
Yeah.
in making it to where they have like unprecedented mistakes and punishing those mistakes and capitalizing
Yeah.
on situations. And I mean that's tournament
Yeah.
football. So it is what it is. But I mean you can't count on that when you're now in the round of 16 and you're playing you know Enrique's Spain. You're not going to catch them slipping
Yeah,
the
I don't
same
think so
way.
either. I think that that's where their run ends, and I also think that once England beat, unfortunately, I think they're going to win tonight, but then it doesn't come home because France is whooping them when they play France.
I I can't see any situation where England could beat
I
France.
don't either.
I can't conceive of that. Like I can conceive of another team potentially beating France,
Yeah,
maybe like in a one-off situation, and then England beating that team convincingly, but I can't see England beating France. If I'm being honest. I'm just being honest with myself. I can't see that happening.
no, I
So
honestly
yeah.
don't even
So
know that England will win tonight. I mean, they will, but I'm like, that's maybe
that's
yeah, I'm least convinced about that over all these games.
if Mane was playing,
Yeah,
we'll
it
put
would
it
have been
like
a
this.
different story.
If Mane was playing,
Yeah,
England don't get through Senegal.
not yeah.
But, you know,
So speaking of
circumstance.
England, I have a quick question for you before we wrap up. So you
Okay.
obviously got the England jersey on. You're hoping obviously that they lose because that's the curse that you have. Um, my question to you is every tournament, doesn't matter what it is, men's, women's, Euros, World Cup, it's coming home, is what the British media say. So that's
That
pretty
thing
annoying
coming
because
home.
everybody knows it's not coming home. The other thing that's super annoying though is in the country that you currently live in, the USA, the media
Yeah.
is so annoying and thinking that USA actually have it. It's not even the media. It's like the whole fan base of the US is somehow brainwashed and thinking that they're going to win it. And then every season or every 4 years, they either don't make it or they leave early. It's like, well, in 4 more years, like I got a tweet last night that was like, had somebody send it to me. It was like basically all of the star players in 4 years' time, what their age is going to be. And there's, yeah, like under 27, which is cool. But then it's like, we're going to have so much time to develop and to get better and to like gel with each other. Plus, it'll be in the U.S. Like we're gonna probably win this one. I'm like, you guys are the most. To me, that's more annoying than England. Than England, it's coming home. But
Yeah.
come on, your thoughts on that?
I mean, so yeah, for England to say that it's coming home, well, first off, the Lionesses did bring the Euros.
Yes.
They did bring it. They brought that thing home, and it was beautiful. So shout out to the ladies. But I would much rather. I mean, I feel like there's a distinct difference between a campaign centralized around rallying up a fan base to like spur a team to do well in a tournament, and a delusion that a team has a shot to act like to say that, okay, I think something's coming home, and to make it to a quarterfinal or a semifinal in Russia, to make it to a final
In the Euros.
in the Euros. I mean, you're going to choke most likely. You don't have the strength to get it across the line, but the thought that it might come home is feasible. Like it's
Yeah, yeah.
plausible. Like you might, you could see a scenario in which it could potentially come home. Now, America, on the other hand, for them to say we have a shot at winning the World Cup and for people to actually believe that, like I think you should be evaluated. Like
It's
you're a
like,
candidate for a psychiatric evaluation. Like I'm like just look at the players. Like okay, you're like okay. Like I'm just like I like obviously like I've moved to America in '98 and I've been here ever since. I love it here for the most part. I mean, minus some of the crazy politics stuff and the guns and the incarcerations and so on and so forth. It's kind of crappy sometimes, but I love the players. But you look at just if you look at our midfield and then you look at a young French midfield, and we just say young. Let's just say Carmavinga, Chouameni, okay, and I can't think of another young, talented French player, but just let's just take those two and compare them to the U.S. midfield. Those two are already better than the three U.S. starters put together. Those two could beat our three. Those two are play for Real Madrid. Our midfield play for a struggling Juventus, Leeds, and Valencia. They play for Real Madrid.
yeah,
If we had midfielders playing for Madrid,
different story.
we had midfielders even playing for Liverpool or Chelsea or even like Atletico Madrid
Yeah,
or like Borussia Dortmund. That would be a completely different story. And they were starting, but they're not. So and there's no evidence that they're ready to make that jump. There's
yeah.
nothing that tells me that Tyler Adams is ready to go. Like he went from RB Leipzig to Leeds. That's a step down. To go from RB Leipzig to Leeds, in my opinion, is a step down because I mean you're not competing in Europe. You're not actually contending for anything. You're just playing in a more competitive league, and you're essentially. I mean, you put up points sometimes, but you're essentially a whipping boy. So I mean, Christian Pulisic. I mean, they call him Captain America. He's the hope. He can't finish chances when they actually really matter, but sometimes he gets them. I'm a hater. I don't want to be a hater. He plays for Chelsea. He plays for America, but like let's be really honest about it. Like he's not in the top 25 best young wingers. He's not. He's just not. He's just not in that conversation. Like, okay, he's American. That's great. He's not even the best winger on America. He's the third best winger on America. So that's just, I mean, but I mean, all that to say, like, then there's the political point. The best U.S. player can't even play because he has beef with the coach. Are they going to figure that out? Are they going to fire the coach? The coach needs to be fired. He wears cool shoes. I think he's a cool dude. He shouldn't be the coach. I'd like to hang out with him. I want to be friends with him. He shouldn't be the coach. Are they going to fire him? No, because his brother's the president of the U.S. soccer
Really?
program. So no, true story. So that's not going to happen. So yeah, I mean, obviously, if it's not clear, it's more annoying to hear fans and the commentators and pundits from America say like, "Oh yeah, like they have a legitimate chance of beating the Netherlands." Are you insane? They have a legitimate chance of making a run to the final in 4 years or 3.5 years when the World Cup comes to North America. What makes you think that? What makes you think that? What have they done to make you? They scored two goals in a World Cup. That's not, and I don't even want to say that. Let's just say, okay, actually it was three, right? They scored three. They beat Iran. I don't want to say the name wrong. They beat Iran. Okay, Christian Pulisic got a goal. They tied Wales. My man Timothy Weah got a goal. And Haji Wright got a deflected goal he knew absolutely nothing about against the Dutch. I am not convinced. I am not convinced until they start running up the scoreline against the teams in CONCACAF the same way that Spain ran the scoreline up against uh
Who did they play that 7-0-7?
uh,
Costa,
Costa
Costa
Rica.
Rica?
Yeah. Shout out to Costa Rica too. I love Costa Rica. I actually really respect the Costa Rican teams. And shout out Kaylor Navas. Anyway, until they can start doing stuff like that against like Honduras, Guatemala, Canada,
Anyone.
even put 4 goals against Mexico, like the guys can't score goals. How the That's all I gotta say. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, no, and to
You
your
know?
point, that Pulisic goal was somewhat right place, right time, almost accidental as well. Um, But
Yeah, I like if we're being really honest, it was a tap. It was a tap in. I mean, it's the same goals that I wish Lukaku would have scored for Belgium. So you gotta see it through, but it's
yeah,
not like a convincing. I mean, it's not like the U.S. Like they don't even want to shoot balls if they're not in the box. Like you're not like until you start taking shots from
but that Tim
outside
Weah
the
shot was
box.
nice.
Oh, the shot
The,
against the Dutch, the one that got blocked.
yeah, I mean the goal though, the goal that he scored first game against Wales.
No, the goal, the
Yeah,
goal, the goal was fine. I mean, okay, and to be fair, Serginho Dest also was taking some shots, and Tim Weah had a nice shot outside the box. So they took some, but it was like you can count the amount of shots they took outside the box on one hand.
yeah,
You can count the amount of shots they took all tournament on two.
yeah. It just doesn't seem like
So
they. We talk a lot about like what's the plan. They never seem to have a plan. Even if France's plan is attack, 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 however way you can, get the ball to Dembele, let him go on the wing. Like that's a plan, and that's a way better option than whatever the American plan. It just didn't have. It didn't seem like they had any sort of tactic. They didn't really have any like direction out there. It was just. It looked.
yeah,
People are like, why don't you like to watch MLS? I'm like, I'm not trying to be like an elitist or anything, but it doesn't. It's not pleasing to the eye. There's no
it's slow
plan.
mo, bro.
And they
Yeah,
looked like that. They looked like an MLS team put into a World Cup. And
that hurts my feelings to hear you say that, but it's true.
but also like just the kid whose last name is Wright. He's British, born and raised there. His dad like spent time in America once. He plays for Fulham, and he was like, no offense to him, like he's making the team, but obviously I think given the option to join the England team, he would have done that. But obviously he didn't have, I would imagine, the capabilities to play for
Yeah,
the
I
English
mean, you're
team.
probably not playing for England if you play for Fulham unless your name's
No.
Jermaine Defoe. You know,
And yeah, and this is 8 years,
and
12 years ago. Yeah.
yeah, but yeah, I guess the last thing I'll say also is like, so you got a Louis Van Gaal, right? Dutch Dutch coach bleeds orange. He made he made the U.S. team look like high schoolers.
Yeah.
Like in their plan was so transparent. Give the ball to our wing backs or
Yeah.
our outside backs. We're spamming crosses.
Yeah.
All of their first two goals were identical. Get the ball to Denzel Dumfries. He's gonna cross it. That's all he knows how to do, which is fine. If you like, there's a lot of players that only know how to cross. Di Maria is one of them. He might be one of the best to ever do the cross. That's what they're gonna do, and they still do it successfully. You can't stop them.
Yeah.
It's like lock them down. No cross, boom, goal. Cross again, goal. Okay, now you got Daily Blend. Daily Blend. How you letting Daily Blend look like a world beater? Like that. That's the biggest indictment against U.S.
Yeah.
soccer. Daily Blend got a goal and an assist on you in the round of 16.
I'm glad you're saying this because I can't, just because in case some capitulation happens Friday night, I don't want to be eating these words, but I didn't even know Daley Blind was still playing football, let alone starting for the Dutch national team. That was something else.
Bruh, his dad was on the bench. His dad is a
Yeah,
part of the
that's true. I
coaching
forgot.
staff.
Because he was the coach
He said
for White,
he
right?
was
And
the
then
coach.
Louis Van Gaal took it back
Yeah,
over again.
and
Oh,
took it
gosh.
back over, and he was like, yo, man, like my son, like I could probably talk him into beating the US team. He's not the best player, but he could beat the US. He's like, you know what? Edgar David, he got his glasses on, he got his
That was
shades on. He's like,
awesome. Yo, always,
yo,
he doesn't change. I love it.
no, bro, he's been the same since day one. That might have been the highlight. Him looking over at Louis Van Gaal just laughing like these guys don't know what they're doing.
I wanted
These guys have no idea what they're doing.
I wanted the
You
camera to
know,
stay on him. That was great.
yo, that's the coolest coaching staff at the tournament by far.
Yeah, only because Italy's not in it. They'd have been dressed up in
Yeah,
those
that's
Armanis
true.
again, looking.
Yeah, they would. Yeah, they always look good, but yeah, they for whatever reason, was it North Macedonia or was
I think
it
so. Someone.
or Andorra? One of those smaller. Well, yeah. Well, anyway, they'll be in America in 4 years or 3.5 years. Everyone's coming to the next World Cup, so
Yeah, yeah.
that's So I mean, with that being said, I still haven't really figured out what exactly the format looks like. Is there just one more round? Do you know? Is there just like going to be a round of 32, then a round of
I
16,
think that's how it
or
is.
is
I
it
haven't
just
looked much because Champions League, I think they announced that change like around the same time, right? And I kind of tried to pay more attention to that,
yeah,
which I still don't understand how either of them work really. Um,
yeah, or is there like a play in?
I
Like
think
yeah,
that it's
so
just a one more round. I have to look though.
one more game. I mean that's cool, I guess. I mean one more game, but it will probably what I hope, and then we can end. Excuse me, is I hope it's just not one more because every World Cup there's the throwaway games that nobody really cares about,
Yeah,
like the low attendance games. Like I'm not gonna say what games they are because I don't want to offend anybody watching our show, but everyone knows that there's games that no one really cares about,
yeah,
and no one really you'll put it on because it's the World Cup and you want to be there when random player scores a crazy goal because it's cool, but I mean, it seems like there's just going to be more filler. I don't want more filler. Like if they're like, "Oh yeah, like we're adding 8 more teams, but they're only coming from
right.
South America and Europe." Yeah, okay. Now I'm on board.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
on board,
yeah.
but they're like, "We're
Because Chile
well,
didn't
they're like
make
we're
this. Italy
distrib
didn't make this. Like this was a really yeah. Sorry, keep going.
No, that's it. That's it. Yeah, like those two alone. Like bring Italy, bring Chile. Like I'm already way more interested. Bring Colombia,
Colombia.
right?
Oh my
Colombia didn't make it.
gosh.
Bring Colombia. Okay, like Colombia. I'm waking up to watch Colombia. I like watching Colombia play. I like Chile. I mean, obviously they didn't make it because their team's aging, but I'm sure they could figure something out by the time.
Yeah, in 4 years I
Like
figured out.
it's like these countries they figure it out. Like South America's never not had a wealth of
Right.
talent coming out one way or another. So I'm not really worried. It's just like competitions, like it's cutthroat.
Yeah.
Like it's a cutthroat situation. Only the best get through. And I feel like if we're adding more teams, we should add it from the confederations who have these cutthroat situations. And it's not like, oh yeah, like I mean, I'm not gonna say countries that I don't think I, what it's like. Oh, now like the Pacific Confederate or like the Asia Pacific or whatever, the Oceanic Confederation has 2, 3 more seats. Now Qatar has qualified for the World
Right.
Cup. Thailand has qualified for. I was like, yeah, what? What? What are we talking about? You know, but maybe I should do some reading before I speak. Maybe it is just, or maybe it's based off of like a coefficient. Like, okay, like if you're ranked number 8, but for some reason you didn't make the qualification, you're now being given an opportunity to
That would
play
be
in the World
cool.
Cup just because you're coefficient. Yeah, I don't know, but I mean, you want to talk about a real World Cup, you should just do coefficient rankings, and just say the best 32 teams, period.
Yeah.
And if the best 32 teams happen to all come from the same 2 continents or same 3
So
continents
be
or
it.
4 continents, then so be it. So be it.
I mean,
So
it's
be it,
almost like if you it's just Italy won the Euros and they're not in the World Cup. I just think that if you win a Euros, like you're automatically in the next World Cup.
I also agree. Yeah, if you win the Euros, if you win the Copa,
Yeah.
if you win in America we call it the Gold Cup. If you win your Confederations, marquee tournament, that should be automatic qualification. Like you win the Champions League, you qualify for the Champions League the
Right.
next time. You don't even qualify for the World Cup the next time if you win the World Cup.
No.
It's almost like, it's like they're like, nah, this is like grassroots. Like anybody has a chance. There's no grandfathering in. There's none of that. But anyway,
Yeah. All right, so you got the England shirt on though, but you want them to win. You trying to curse them?
I put the shirt on for the podcast. This is coming off. I'm taking this off as soon as the podcast is.
This
You
man
think
is
I'm
trying to
wearing this
curse his
shirt?
homeland. His
You think now? You think I'm wearing this shirt during the game? I'm taking the shirt off. I mean, I'm putting on. I'm finding a Mindy Chelsea goalkeeper kit, and I'm putting that on,
Okay, so my last
and
question: Do
that's
you
what
have
I'm
a
wearing.
Netherlands kit?
Yeah, oh yeah, I do.
Okay.
Did I wear it? No, I didn't wear it. I wore a US jersey.
The curse is
The
still
reason
alive.
the curse is live. The curse is still alive. The reason I wore it, well, one, there's like a sports complex. Well, it's like a it's like a shop, but it has like a soccer court in it, and some of like the old, like, do you know Nick Ramondo?
Yeah.
Um, Okay, so he's a partner there, so he like threw like a watch party to watch the game, and I was like, I don't want to pull up to Nick
Ah,
Romando wearing a Dutch. Like he sees me around, he knows I'm on the scene. So like I was like I felt like I had to wear a U.S. jersey going to the U.S. watch party, but I couldn't show up and be like, yo man, like here's like why you wearing a Virgil Van Dyke jersey? Here's the thing, man. There's a curse, yada yada
yeah.
yada. It's like sometimes the curse
Yeah,
doesn't
but he
matter.
would have
It
believed
would.
it. He would have believed
He
you.
would have he would have believed me, but
But
I
still,
also
you
don't
got to
want him to throw
represent.
like a bear at me. Yeah, I was like,
Yeah.
you know what? Everyone's wearing US. I got to show up in the
Although
stars and
he's from
stripes.
LA and he's been living in Utah for like 30 years, acting like he's just visiting.
He be repping
So
that. He be repping that Laker
so he got
Nation
nothing to
hard.
say.
He had the Dodger hat over the US shirt. I was like, man, he got the Laker basketball court at his house. He repping
Right.
hard.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
yo, but he's a staple in the city. He's a
Yeah.
staple in Salt Lake
He
City.
is, right? They love him there.
Oh, for sure. Oh yeah, legend in the city. But rep LA hard. Lakers
Yeah.
come to town. He front row, jersey on. Got the kids saying R.I.P. Kobe and long live LeBron. We still got a chance. Okay. All right, man.
That's everything, right?
What else? Is that it? I think that's it. Let me consult. Let me consult real quick. Uh, yeah, that's it. Yep, we covered it all. So that's it for this week. Knockouts coming thick and fast. I guess Argentina. What? Argentina plays Friday?
Yeah,
Dutch.
Friday,
Okay,
Friday.
so yeah. So maybe we'll be reporting good news next time we see you for Brooks' sake. I hope so.
Might not even
I
make it.
think
I might
so.
not even be around to be
Yeah.
contacted. No, we gotta keep the vibes
Oh
high,
no.
keep the belief. So yeah, we'll see you in a week
Keep the
or next week.
positivity.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
yeah.
All right then, guys. Thanks for hanging out with us. And we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Peace.